Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Living Solo, Living Well, and my name is Kat, and I'm a registered nurse, and I'm 64 years old. I live solo with a cat, or two cats and one dog, and I wanted to talk about today in this video why I love being a solo person. And there are 6 things that I came up with. They're not really in any order, but number 1 will definitely be number 1. It'll be the last one that I talk about. So let's get started. And one of the first ones, reason why I love living alone and love being a solo person is that I can experience personal growth without any kind of interference from anyone else. And the reason that's important to me is that years ago, when my daughter was little, her dad had said to me, "You've changed. You have changed over the years." And I remember saying, well, life is dynamic. It's constantly changing. We need to change. And it was not in a bad way. It's just I wasn't the submissive wife that he could control, and he didn't like that. So I like my personal growth, and I like having time for meditation or for reading, researching how to improve upon myself, whether it's my health, my weight, my lifestyle. And so that's a real important one, is personal growth. I don't want to be stunted. I'm short, but I don't want to be stunted. I don't want to be like behind the times, and new things come out, new ideas are coming out daily, new ways to do things, new information on health and fitness. And I feel like I'm able to work on myself without interference from someone else on a daily basis, 24/7, or, hours and hours a day. So it's important for me to know that I'm the best person that I can be for myself. If I'm the best that I can be for myself, I will be the best that I can be for others. But I have to work on myself first. So personal growth is important to me. And again, these are reasons that I feel make me love living alone and being solo. So not that I'm lonely, and it's not like I don't want anybody in my life, but right now in this situation, I'm a solo person, and I wouldn't trade it really for anything. So the next one, number 2, or starting from 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, number 5 is reduce stress. So I know that married couples, or even couples that are cohabitating, and you tend to get on each other's nerves. That's just a given, because you're two separate people. You're not the same mindset. You don't have the same values, ideas, thoughts. Everything's different because we all are just individual people. So for me, the reduced stress that comes from being a solo person is invaluable, really, because there's no arguing. I might fuss at my pets, but there's no arguing. They don't argue back. My dog might bark back, but that's about it. So the stress level, as we get older, stress can do a lot of damage to our arteries, to our heart, to our mind, our thinking. People can get sick because they've stressed over things too much. So for me to reduce that stress level in my life, that's one of the benefits of being solo, of living solo. The title of my channel, Living Solo, Living Well, I want to exemplify the good things, the things that are well about living solo. And I want to make things better as a solo person. Then I don't want to I want to reduce the stress. I want to reduce just a lot of issues, a lot of drama that can contribute to bad health. And studies have shown that stress can increase health conditions. You can have depression, anxiety. You can actually have illnesses that are caused by stress. So diabetes is one of them. You know, there are a lot of things that can cause diabetes, type 2 diabetes, but there's a benefit from not having constant stress, you know, in your life. And when you have a partner, you take on, you know, really pretty much, because you are one as far as a partner, as far as a unit, and you tend to take on other people's stress, like your partner, your spouse, your kids, whatever. And so I find that living solo reduces that stress level for me. So I'm good with that, and I wouldn't change it if I had to. So, I mean, unless the right person came along down the road, I don't see that happening. But unless that were to occur, then, you know, I might rethink it. But for now, the reduced stress is high on my list. So, number 4 is, and this is nothing really major, but I have a queen size bed, and I can just spread out in my bed when I go to sleep. If I want to nap in my bed, which I generally don't during the day, but if I wanted to, I have the entire bed to myself. I don't have to worry about staying on my side of the bed, and you know, I can stretch out, get comfortable, not have to worry about getting in someone's way. So that's just a little thing, but that's big for me. So the next thing, number 3 on my list, and again, these are not in any order except for number 1. So number 3 is that my house stays clean pretty much. I mean, I have pets, but I clean it when I'm ready, when it needs to be cleaned. I don't have to worry about, you know, it happens with couples. So when you ask your spouse to take out the trash, or you divide up some chores, a lot of times that's a difficult thing to accomplish, because, you know, sometimes the spouse doesn't do it on your time, you know, in the time that you want it done. And that can create feelings of, well, he's not listening to me, or she's not listening to me, or I wish they would do better because the trash is overflowing and they're just not taking it out. They're waiting. Can't they see that it's full? So it eliminates the stress from having those expectations of another person. Again, we aren't alike. No two people are alike. So even for couples, you have expectations for that person. So the expectation of somebody keeping the house clean up to my standards, I don't have to worry about that. You know, if I don't clean it, if my house is a mess and I'm looking around, it's not a mess. But if my house were to be a mess, I only have myself to blame. And I don't have the stress of someone else that is not pulling their weight. So that is number 3, that the house stays fairly clean. So number 2 is fixing meals on my terms, I guess on my time, when I have the availability, or when I want to cook. If I don't want to cook, I don't have to cook. It's just me. And so it's only me that would get upset if I didn't want to cook. And that's not going to happen. You know, I might be frustrated because I don't have the ingredients to cook a certain meal that I want, but that's okay. I don't have to take into consideration everybody else's likes and desires and tastes, or if they're wanting to lose weight and I'm fixing foods that don't encourage that. You know, I don't have to worry about that. If I decide I want pizza, I can go pick up a pizza, or I can make a pizza. I usually don't. It's very rare that I eat pizza, but I do eat it. So if I want to cook a home cooked meal, or if I just want to pull something out of the freezer, if I want leftovers, I don't have to worry about someone else saying, oh no, I don't really want to eat leftovers. What else can we have? I don't have to worry about that. I fix it if I want it. If I don't want it, I don't have to. I can take it easy and have cereal if I wanted. So that's one of the good things about living as a solo person, is that you can fix meals the way you want to fix them. If you want to eat at 6 o'clock, if I want to eat dinner at 4 o'clock and then just veg out and do nothing the rest of the evening, that's okay. If I want to eat at 8 o'clock because I'm busy doing something, if I have a project going on, I don't have to eat until 8 o'clock. Or whatever time I want to. So there's that freedom in that. You know, I was married, and I did enjoy being married, but I didn't enjoy being cheated on. So that's the big clincher. I'm not going to have that. So for me to, it's not like I want to be in control. I'm not a control freak, but being a solo person, since 2008, I have been on my own, doing my own thing since 2008. It's kind of hard to get back into the swing of maybe having a partner or a spouse and having to constantly consider, them as far as their wants and desires and what they want to eat or how they expect the house to be cleaned. It's difficult. And when you've been alone for quite some time, it just feels better. I feel better being alone because I can control my happiness level. And in that regard, yes, I'm a control freak because I want to control how I feel about life. I don't want any outside influences in that. So anyway, the number one for me in my mind, the number one reason that I really enjoy being a solo person is the peace and quiet. So I like to have the TV on in the background. I don't today. When I'm making videos, I don't, obviously. But there are times I don't want the TV on. I don't want the radio on. I don't want my dog to tap the floor with her toenails because they haven't been trimmed yet because the weather's been terrible and the lady that comes out to trim them has been busy and it's been snow and ice. But anyway, if I don't want if I need to decompress because I am an introvert and I prefer quiet by myself, I can have that peace and quiet when I get home. Now I have to deal with my pets and feed them and, make sure they're taken care of, but that's different. I don't have to worry about the TV being on if I don't want it on. If I want to rest or take a nap in the middle of the day or a time, when I have some time to do so, I can do that without having another person in the house to disturb that peace and quiet. So I know these are really probably petty things to some people, but as a solo person, these are important. Our priorities change as we get older, and our priorities change when we become solo. So we don't have to put up with the things that maybe get under our skin, the things that irritate us or cause us stress. We have the option as a solo person, as a single person, and even as an older solo person, we become set in our ways. Just like I said about, it's been since 2008 that I've been a single person. I'm set in my ways. I know I am. And I don't feel like I need to be in a relationship and then change myself to fit that relationship. I want things the way I want them right now. And those things enable me to decompress, to have less stress, and to be of a better frame of mind or mindset to handle the challenges that come as we get older. There are challenges as we get older, and just to have that ability to make some choices on your own for the betterment of your health, that's huge. So anyway, I hope that you guys can come up with your ways or your things that you're grateful for, the things that come with being solo that you enjoy so much. So anyway, I will see you on the next video.